Have you ever created a personal mission statement, defined your vision for the future, or simply just thought about what your core values might be? If you haven't, you're not alone. This stuff's often overlooked, probably not even associated with personal finance, but it's important because it can drive results, okay? As I mentioned, if you haven't done this stuff, you're not alone. Only about 15% or so of people have actually taken the time to write out a mission, a vision, values, put the stuff on paper and start thinking through it. But it can give you an edge when you do. It can help you move closer to get the results you want, achieve the goals you're looking to, and maybe even get there faster, right? Because it gives you a roadmap, it gives you accountability, it gives you that vision, what you're working for, and why it's important to you. So we're gonna talk a little bit about how to get each one of these three statements in place, how to think through it, just get started. Now, I know when you think mission, vision, values, maybe you're thinking business planning, maybe you think it's a little bit fluffy, but I promise you, when you get started on this stuff, you'll be happy you did. And you can think about in this context, this is all part of your story. It's who you are, it's what you do, why you do it, what's important to you. Okay, starting with the personal mission statement. This one for me is a little bit more tricky than the vision. I don't know why, it's just the way, the brain kind of clicks sometimes, but this is really who you are, why you do what you do. It's your enduring reason for being. And you do want to tie just personal life and personal finance together because these two things are so interconnected. You can't really separate the two. So your personal mission statement could be something as simple as to live life to the fullest with family and friends, make a difference for as many people, inspire as many people as you can along the way. Something simple like that. Or you could add a little more context to it. You could say, I want to use my resources and wealth to live life to the fullest with my family and loved ones, while at the same time thinking outside of myself, doing good, inspiring, making a difference for as many people as possible on a day-to-day basis. Something like that. It just depends on where your head goes. What is your reason? Why do you do what you do? Boil the mission down to that. Go easy on yourself, get something on paper, and then refine it from there, okay? But get it in place. The vision's a little bit different. So I find the vision to be more of a fun exercise. This is simply how you envision your future, which can be fun to think through. And it's something important to think through if you haven't done it. What do you want your future life to look like? Because these sort of decisions, when you start thinking through them, that's gonna guide your decision-making process when you know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so you should be inspired. This should be your big why. What do you want the future to look like? How do you want to spend your days? Who do you want to spend them with? What sort of activities do you want to do, right? Think about timelines. Have a little bit of fun with it, right? And really clearly define this vision so it can serve as that picture of what you want the future to look like. And then you can start thinking about the actions you need to reach that vision in the future, okay? So vision's a fun one. Play around with it. Give yourself, the mental freedom to think big, right? I know that can be difficult for us sometimes. And lastly on the list, we're just keeping this simple and straightforward. I just want you to get started with this stuff is lay out your core values. What's important to you? How do you see yourself? What are those underlying guiding principles that you hold dear, right? Think about your passions. Think about what matters the most to you. Think about how you want to prioritize things, right? Honesty, responsibility, integrity, those are the sort of things that are important to you. Creativity, freedom, curiosity, lay out what you really think your core values are. I think this is an interesting one to compare notes on too. We find out what's important to you, what's important to different people. I don't know. I find it fun. All right. And last on the list, we talk mission, vision, values. We can also talk goals. I'm always talking about goals, especially here at the beginning of the year. Perfect time to kind of revisit some of this stuff. With goals, we always talk about setting SMART goals. This stuff is pretty straightforward. I will leave you with one thought. So oftentimes the level of success we have is dependent upon what we're looking at and what we're keeping in front of us on a consistent basis. So you do need to know what you're trying to accomplish. Goals are a very important part of that. Obviously, the vision is a big chunk of that, all right? And those are stepping stones for one another. The goals on a consistent basis will get you to the big vision at the end. All right, so start thinking about some of this stuff. I would love to hear, how your mission, vision, and values come out. If you find this interesting or not, I do think if you get started, you will never regret that you've laid out mission, vision, values, and started thinking through these bigger items, right? Kind of just opens your mind up. So found some value here. Would love if you give us a like and a share. And until next time.